The Steet Ponte Auto Group in Herkimer and Yorkville and Turnbull Insurance Service since 1866 present Mohawk Valley Living, exploring the arts, culture, and heritage of our region. A special good morning to the Flanagans watching in Rome.
Good morning and welcome to Mohawk Valley Living. Spring this year seems to be having a hard time making up its mind to arrive. Winter is hanging around for much too long. So we thought we would take a little trip today and find some spring indoors, correct? Here at Dudrak Farms, where spring is in full swing.
You can start some what we call cold crops inside. Your cabbages, Swiss chard, kale, spinach, anything like that you can try to put them out towards the end of April, but you have to be aware that if we're going to get a frost, that you have to cover them and make sure that they're not frosted. And when you cover them with plastic, you want to make sure that the plastic doesn't touch the plants because they can get burned even through the plastic. We started out as a nursery grower, and we were growing flowers and bedding plants for some of the area nurseries around here. We started to realize that sales were going down, the economy was really kind of going in the toilet. So we decided to switch over to food. We thought the CSA model was the way to go. And in addition to the food CSA that we have, we've also started a plant start CSA. And what we do there is they pay us in the fall so that we can buy the seed. They come in the 1st of May and then again the end of May to pick up their plants. So we have the plants all ready. They're grown to where they should be put in the ground. They can take them home, put them in their garden. So they don't have to worry about them stretching in front of the patio window or growing on their dining room table. They're all done here and ready for them to take home.
To learn more about Three Goat Farms Food CSA and their new Vegetable Plant Start CSA to get a jump start on your garden this year, visit their website at threegoatfarm.com. Special thanks to our sponsor, Steet Ponte Ford Lincoln Mazda in Yorkville, where we meet some of the guys. Tony shows us a sharp, showroom new, top-of-the-line Lincoln. And Joel gives us a tour of the features of a surprisingly affordable and energy-efficient new Mazda. The Steet Ponte Auto Group is proud to bring Mohawk Valley Living to you each week, serving the Utica area and the Valley with outstanding customer service. In Yorkville at Steet Ponte Ford Lincoln Mazda, Steet Ponte Volkswagen, and Steet Toyota Scion. And in Herkimer at Steet Ponte Chevrolet. Stop in and see why it's so easy to do business with Steet Ponte. You go the extra mile for your small business and should expect the same from your insurance company. For over 140 years, Turnbull Insurance Service has been committed to local small business. For your commercial coverage, turn to the company ready to go that extra mile. Turn to Turnbull. Experience winter air before it's gone. Over 100 works by national and international artists through April 27th. Capturing that intangible energy of a cold winter's day. On display at View in Old Forge. Winter hours, Thursday through Sunday, 11 to 4. Do you see the glass as half full? Then read the positive news from Central New York every day at uticarocks.com. The Artisan's Corner in Clinton features art from the heart of Central New York. Handcrafted, one-of-a-kind, affordable artwork and gifts. Check out the St. Patrick's Day cards, clothing, jewelry, pillows, and glassware at the Artisan's Corner, open every day in Clinton. Melrose Supermarket is your family hometown market, known for their choice hand-cut meats, homemade breads, and fresh pastas and salads. Check out the weekly specials at Melrose Supermarket, East Main Street in Frankfort. Shop NJ Fleehand for professional quality espresso machines, KitchenAid appliances and attachments, barware, glassware, and bakeware. Whether you are outfitting a restaurant or your own gourmet kitchen, NJ Fleehand has the equipment and experience. Open Monday through Saturday at 703 Bleecker Street in Utica.
Hi, Dr. Tom. Bringing your cat to the Paris Hill Cat Hospital on Sundays is a part of Mohawk Valley living. Come inside and see why.
Paris Hill Cat Hospital, this is Lindsay. How can I help you? Hello, Mrs. Cole. Your cat is losing weight and you need an appointment? And you're only available on weekends. Sure, I have an available appointment with Dr. Karen Sunday at 2 p.m. Does that fit into your schedule? Okay.
We're open 7 days a week because we know that your cat can become ill anytime. The Paris Hill Cat Hospital, quality care for your cats and kittens.
We say hello to an area that's a little bit Utica, New York Mills, and New Hartford, the Burstone Road and French Road area. One account attributes the name of French Road to the French family, buried on French Road. Burstone Road and French Road are also tied to entrepreneur Alfred Munson.
One of the oldest manufacturing companies in the United States is right here in Utica, New York. It is owned and operated by the Devine family, and it is Munson Machinery Company.
In the early 1800s, Alfred Munson met a Frenchman fleeing his country's revolution, who was skilled at making millstones. Munson set him up to machine burrstones used for grinding a variety of grains. Mr. Munson's burrstone mill business and promotion and investments in manufacturing in Utica led him to become the richest man in Oneida County. Today, Munson Machinery Company is one of the oldest continuously operated businesses in New York State.
The company was founded in 1823 by Alfred E. Munson of the Munson family. His father was a miller, was a flour miller, and so it was evidently a natural progression for him to get into building machinery. He must have been mechanically inclined, but he moved into the area and started building machines in 1823. We build large industrial mixers and grinding equipment for food companies, chemical companies, plastics, fertilizers, lawn care companies, all industrial type machines. For example, gourmet coffee, flavoring coffees, or blending bagged concrete. I've been in the company for 15 years, and it's a family-run business. My father is the president of the company, and I started in sales and worked for 12 years in the sales department, and now I've been running the shop for the last 3 years. So we build things from scratch. We bring in bar stock and sheet stock, and we turn them into amazing, beautiful machines. And you never know what customers are going to come at you next for what they're looking for. And the applications are endless.
If you look closely around your neighborhood, you can still find old burrstones, used in gardens, signs, and architectural design. On Burstone Road, we find something else that's round with a hole in the center at the Bagel Grove, celebrating its 20th anniversary. It seems that everyone knows where to go for authentic bagels, the real deal, bagels with a shiny crust that the Bagel Grove is known for.
Tiziana, tell me, of all the bagels here, what's the most popular one?
Cinnamon raisin is good.
Not good, the
Whole wheat.
the most popular with the customers.
The everything bagel.
The everything bagel, then I'm going to take one of those, please.
In the bag?
Sure.
Well, my parents started it in 1988, and my dad used to be an engineer over at GE, and decided to do something different. I was just a kid at the time, so I didn't think much of it, but now that I think about it, it was a little bit crazy for him to quit this secure engineering job and start a bagel shop. I didn't even know what a bagel was when he started it, but that was back in 1988, and so both my parents were involved always growing up, and myself and my brothers and sisters spent all the time growing up here. Well, we are really proud of our authentic bagel process here. I mean, we start out, part of it is that we make the dough a day in advance, so the dough has to rest overnight, and it's also a special kind of flour that we use. So we make everything from scratch. You know, we go through about 2.5 tons of flour a week here. So all that flour gets turned into bagels. As I said, it rests overnight, and then in the morning what we do is we boil the bagels briefly before we bake them, and that's kind of the real special thing that we do here.
It's not a secret, right?
It's not a secret, no. I mean, it's the authentic way to do it. There's shortcuts that some people take nowadays, but we don't take any shortcuts. You know, we do it the authentic way.
The anchor of the Burstone Road, French Road area is Utica College. But long before it graced this intersection, it was located near Plant and State Streets in Utica. Our own Mario Cardarelli takes us back 50 years.
Well, this was the Utica College of my day, and we're standing in front of Plymouth Church, which provided some of the first classrooms for Utica College. And I remember going in this door here, turning left and going upstairs for classrooms. However, the main square of Utica College was right down the street here at the corner of Plant and Hartreed. It wasn't really a specious school. It began in 1946, a division of Syracuse University, and it was attuned primarily to service GI Bill people who had tuition assistance under the GI Bill. And they would come to the college, and it was right in their hometown. But the school attracted more than just veterans. It attracted me from Proctor High School, many people from within the county, outside of the county, in the state, and outside of the state. And it became really a booming school. If you ask me what Utica College meant to me, it meant really a great deal. This year I celebrate 50 years from my graduation, and also 50 years of marriage with a girl that I met right here on this campus 50 years ago. You really can't ask much more than that from a school of higher learning.
Malio writes fondly about his Utica College days in his book, Utica on Parade. Utica College's success and growth in the 1940s and 50s led to the college's expansion and to its modern-day campus on the corner of French and Burstone Roads.
They had a dream, and that dream was to grow a independent college or small university in the Utica area, to serve Utica and the Mohawk Valley. And their dream was for a real campus someday. I mean, they appreciated what they had. The students were there, they didn't care, they're out of the war, they're making lives for themselves, but everyone was dreaming about the future and the possibilities. That future happened in 1959. They broke ground on a farm field for a psychiatric hospital about 1.5 miles or 2 miles away from Oneida Square. That farm field, and it was nothing but farmland, is now Utica College today. That was their dream. Our pioneers, the original faculty and the students, were dreaming of a campus. And here we are today.
I taught here at Utica College for many, many years, and I walked through Strable Student Center hundreds of times, and probably over this equally as many times. If you come here, take a look down, because right here in the floor there is a birthstone.
Besides continuing education, there are many reasons for the community to visit Utica College. There are theatrical and musical performances, sporting events, film presentations, and art exhibits. We visit the Edith Langley Barrett Fine Art Gallery to find out more about events open to the public.
We do everything from classic comedies, we do modern dramas. We also have a film series that runs both semesters, and this varies. We do there's American films, there's films from all over the world. Those also are everything from modern to classic. There are 6 different exhibits a year in the gallery, one of which is the Utica City Schools exhibit, which is very widely attended, which we are very excited about. Also, our student activities brings in everything from poets to comics to various musical groups, and a lot of these activities are free. So if someone's looking for something to do on the weekend, during the week, any of those things, all they need to do is visit our website and see all the things that are available to them at just about any time. And a lot of these things are overlapping, so depending on your interests, there are a lot of different things we have available to you.
A local tradition and staple on French Road is Chanatry's Supermarket. This popular family-owned grocery store has remained successful in the competitive marketplace by providing their customers with old-fashioned personal service.
Back in the 1940s, I can remember the fellows who worked here stacking things up to that triangle, and they would actually stack bottles on top of bottles. It must have been quite an art form to do it. Now they're in the cardboard boxes. It's probably some type of liability question. They have to be careful. And if you come here now, though, it still goes up some, I'd say, 12 feet high. This time of year, everybody's buying their evaporated milk for their pumpkin pies. But I remember the evaporated milk for a totally different reason. Back in the 1940s, I can still picture my grandmother sitting at the kitchen table on Seymour Ave, poking a hole in the top of one of these cans, and then using it as cream in her coffee. Nowadays, you get the cream in those little plastic things, but not back then. It was in cans just like this.
the business was started in 1912 by my Uncle Ray, my dad Michael, and another uncle, Rocky. They immigrated from Syria, escaping the Ottoman persecutions in 1912. Each one had gotten a job either working at the mills on Broad Street or working for the steel mills and whatever that were all active at the time, and couldn't speak English, so none of them could hold a job. So they started on Bleecker Street, and the wives would bake pita bread, and the menfolk would run it up and down the street on a push cart. And that's how it all started. And they were able to get into a storefront and expanded, and you know, they had their ups and downs through the years, you know. It's such a satisfying experience, and chances are if I wasn't doing this, I'd be 6 foot under by now.
Watch Mohawk Valley Living every Sunday on Fox 33 and UTR. And pick up the free Mohawk Valley Living magazine the first of each month. Available at many locations like these throughout the Mohawk Valley and at your closest Stewart shops. When planning your family's future, turn to the principles of the past. Turn to Turnbull. Turnbull Insurance Service is an independent agency representing the most dependable companies for all your insurance needs, as well as complete financial planning and wealth management. Call today for a free assessment. Now you can take out hot specials for lunch and dinner at Maria's Pasta Shop, and on Sundays, fried dough, fried meatballs, and fresh-baked rolls. Maria's Pasta Shop, Oneida Street, Utica. Visit Brenda's Natural Foods in their brand new, bigger location, right down the street at 236 West Dominic Street in Rome. Brenda's Natural Foods, something good and a lot of it. Make any day a special day and a special day even better with fresh-baked pastries and cookies from Cafe Caruso on Bleecker Street in East Utica. Stop in or call ahead for special orders. Spring color is peeking through at the Village Crossing. It's a great time for sales on winter clearance items, making way for new spring fashions arriving daily at the Village Crossing in Clinton.
Hi, welcome to the Little Falls Antique Center in the shops at 25 West. We have 2 full floors with 50 vendors of interesting and unique products ranging from specialized to very eclectic, primitive to the not so primitive. Remember, shop local, we're worth the trip.
Celebrate the first sign of spring during Sugaring Off Sundays. See sugaring demonstrations, have a taste of jack wax, enjoy children's activities and the Empire State Carousel. A full pancake breakfast is served from 8:30 to 1 every Sunday in March during Sugaring Off Sundays at the Farmers Museum in Cooperstown. Expecting company? Just call Deansboro Superette. They prepare delicious Middle Eastern platters for any number of guests. Call 841-4377. Watch Mohawk Valley Living every Sunday and pick up our free monthly magazine. Inside are stories by local writers, area guides, things to do, and more. Find out today why people are calling it their favorite magazine. Mohawk Valley Living. See what's in it for you. With winter setting in, we head north to Cold Brook to check in on Tim and Peggy at the Shawangunk Nature Preserve. They live off the grid, and their chores include cleaning snow from the solar panels and gathering firewood. The sunny days have allowed them to enjoy passive solar heat through their triple-pane windows. They stay active with their music and crafts. Peggy is busy with her basket making and preparing for her Saturday workshops.
Well, making balsam wreaths out of natural materials, no man-made materials, is our most popular workshop. And people come back year after year to do it, even though they know how to do it already, just because, I don't know, it's just fun. And they like the materials I produce. I cut branches without harming any plants, balsam tips, wild meadow sweet branches or pussy willows. And it's amazing that it just kind of all goes together in a beautifully shaped wreath that lasts all winter and into the spring. Sometimes people say birds will nest in them in the spring, and that's an attractive aspect too.
Look for Tim and Peggy's new music CD at local stores. The Mohawk Valley Center for the Arts in Little Falls presents Local Arts. We find this week's feature artist in Holland Patent. You won't find his artwork in a gallery. You could say he has a traveling exhibit. His custom work graces the bodies of cars and motorcycles, and people come from all over for custom Kev's designs. His finesse with an airbrush is a skill he has perfected over the years.
I went to a car show with my father when I was about 15 years old, and I seen a mural on a Corvette. It was pretty wild, so I liked it and everything, so I figured, well, geez, I'd like to try that out. And then my parents brought me an airbrush, and from there I just started painting, and that's the way it's been. Been painting ever since. All high school buddies came over, and they wanted some stuff on their cars, and before you know it, people were pushing the stuff on me, actually. And one thing led to another, and I fell in love with it to begin with anyway, so I didn't mind doing it. Yep. You have to learn to control it, control your finger, and make sure you don't spray blobs of paint. And you got to really learn control of it. It's a lot different than a pencil or a brush. I like wildlife. It's a lot of fun because you can just kind of live in there for a while. And skulls, flames, I love flames, and I don't know if I should mention the other thing that I like painting, but anyway, it's nude women. You can edit that one. I just like painting all different things. Everything is a challenge. I don't like doing the same thing over and over and over. Routine. I ask people if they want Jesse James purple with Jesse James gold, or Jesse James gold with Jesse James purple, or something, you know? So I like to break stuff up.
These aren't just machines Kevin works on, they're almost a part of the owner's family. This New York State guide knew his bike was in good hands when he entrusted it to Kev.
Wayne came over and he wanted flames, and then he seen pictures of some wildlife scenes that I did, and then he told me that he wanted the wildlife scene, and took about 150 hours to paint that bike. I love the artwork anyway, and I swore to myself that I would do that until the day I die. So that's what I'm in it for, the artwork, you know.
If you're looking for custom art for your ride, you can contact Custom Kev at 865-8162. The Steet Ponte Auto Group is proud to bring Mohawk Valley Living to you each week, serving the Utica area and the Valley with outstanding customer service. In Yorkville at Steet Ponte Ford Lincoln Mazda, Steet Ponte Volkswagen, and Steet Toyota Scion. And in Herkimer at Steet Ponte Chevrolet. Stop in and see why it's so easy to do business with Steet Ponte. Call Yannick Excavating for all your residential and commercial projects, from new construction and land clearing to septic systems, driveways, basements, ponds, and topsoil. Visit yannickexcavating.com.
Everyone knows the Window King for windows because he's been selling good windows cheap for years. But R.A. Dudrak is much more than windows. He's windows and doors, kitchens and floors. So whether you're looking for energy-efficient windows to save money this winter, or a new kitchen to brighten up those long winter months, the Window King has it all. Visit their showroom in beautiful Holland Patent and see for yourself why R.A. Dudrak is the Window King.
Do something about your chronic pain. InterX Therapy can be the answer to your post-surgical or sports injury rehabilitation or chronic neuropathic pain. Call Dr. Michael Tucherone at 853-6225 for non-invasive InterX Therapy. Mealin's Meat Market is your meat headquarters, featuring low-salt, low-fat smoked ham and store-made kielbasa. Every hot dog, beef patty, and sausage is made by Bob Mealin himself. You'll find everything from store-made meats to fresh salads and tabbouleh at Mealin's Meat Market in Clark Mills. That special art, photograph, or memorabilia deserves a special frame. Oscars creates one-of-a-kind gold and silver leaf mirrors and frames. Oscars Picture Framing, 12 Kellogg Road, New Hartford. Tom's Natural Foods is your connection to local farms for natural and organic fruits and vegetables, meats, eggs, cheeses, and other milk products at Tom's Natural Foods in Clinton, naturally. Shop Shelter for handmade Adirondack furniture designed by craftsman Jim Kiefer. He works with you to create custom pieces to your specifications, from dining room and coffee tables to bookcases, beds, and bunks. Call or visit Shelter on Main Street in Old Forge. Watch Mohawk Valley Living every Sunday and pick up our free monthly magazine. Inside are stories by local writers, area guides, things to do, and more. Find out today why people are calling it their favorite magazine. Mohawk Valley Living. See what's in it for you. Dairy farming is the backbone of Lowville, and the backbreaking work of the dairy farmer is not for the faint of heart. Third and fourth generation farmers carry on the tradition of raising crops and cattle, and the daily chores, milking, and caring for the herds.
It's a fourth generation dairy farm. It started in 1860. Be my great-great-grandfather Howard Ross, and then my grandfather Orrin, my father John, and now me. Probably through my high school years, I was quite interested in our farm, and we had a purebred herd, and we showed cows at the fair, and that kind of drew my interest towards it, and that pretty much salted me right there. We have registered Holsteins. We have 170 head with 90 milk cows, and 70 young stock, which would be 2 years and under. Here it starts at 4:45 in the morning. That's when I get up, and we usually have the milking and the cows fed by 8 o'clock. We go in for breakfast, have breakfast, come back out, finish up chores, then do whatever daily tasks we're going to do, whether it be crops outdoors or messing around with the cows, whether it be clipping, which one fellow is doing right now, or grooming the cows, or just moving cows to different parts as they get older. And in, of course, the summertime, you might work till 8 or 9 o'clock putting in crops. Just depends. But the wintertime's usually about 11-hour day for me. In winter or summertime, it could be 12 to 13 hours. Not every day, but most of the days. It's a very nice community for agribusiness, period, because there's a lot of services here. I know I have friends that are dairy farmers up north. There's a lot less services. I'm perfect location. I only have to drive about 3 or 4 minutes to get parts, services, whatever I need. We're very lucky we have a couple good vets in the area. You know, this area is very very conducive for dairy farming. Just the climate, and it's been a way of life up here for a long time. But the one thing I want to stress, dairy farming isn't just a way of life, it's a serious business now. You can't make a lot of mistakes or you're done before you get started. So you got to be sharp with a pencil and have a few breaks along the way.
Let's see.